let's shift over to a conversation that has a lot of moving parts to it, which we did touch up on last week regarding just Tomas Nido, but the Mets catching situation is definitely something to watch in the next few weeks. Now, there is no doubt that the Mets have their sights set on Francisco Alvarez being the catcher long term, but currently the timer for decision making is still up in the air. Last week, the Mets placed Tomas Nido on the IL due to dry eye syndrome, as he's now set to begin his rehab assignment in Single A Port St. Lucie this week. Nido is also not the only catcher on the IL, as Omar Narvaez is currently on the 60-day IL due to a calf strain, and Buck Showalter announced that Narvaez will be beginning a rehab assignment next week. As for the active side, the Mets called up former Yankees slugger Gary Sanchez, who signed a minor league deal with the Mets last week. Sanchez had a 10-day option to opt out of his deal, and the Mets decided to promote him before that deadline with a red-hot streak performance so far in AAA Syracuse. Now, as for that corresponding move, the Mets sent down Michael Perez to AAA Syracuse, who had one minor league option left. Now, this opens up a lot of uncertainty down the stretch of the season. I'd say that the three main questions here that will be eventually answered is, will Alvarez get sent down once one or Nido or Narvaez are healthy? Will Nido ever even play again for the Mets, which we already talked about? And will Gary Sanchez stay if he is producing?
I'll answer one of your questions. So if the Mets send down Francisco Alvarez in favor of Tomas Nido, we've seen a lot of Frank rants over the past few years. But if that does happen, you will see the ultimate, the all-time Frank rant if Francisco Alvarez gets sent down in favor of Tomas Nido. So that better not happen for the sake of everybody's eardrums and my heart and my voice. For the sake of that, that better not happen. So let's just get that out of the way. But this is what I've been saying all along. And when everybody was arguing me in the offseason, oh, well, you got to sign the veteran Narvaez and just he's too young, Alvarez. He's still not ready. He's not ready. And then look what happened. The old man got hurt, and the young kid came in and hit home runs. So, again, there's another $10 million that Billy Epler wasted. So, again, why would I give Epler credit when he continues to just do dumb stuff and sign all these old guys that you didn't need? You had these pitching priorities, these other priorities, and you signed another catcher. And then, you bought out the Nido arbitration years. So, for me, it's like, I'm good with what we got right now. I'm good with this. You give me Alvarez starting full-time, great, and he can actually hit. And then when he needs a day off, Gary Sanchez pulls the ball and hits fly balls. Oh, my gosh. So I'm good with that, too. I'm fine with that. As a backup catcher, like Ramon Castro, every now and then he'd make a start, hit a home run. That's good with me. I'm cool with that. So I would leave it the way it is. Forget Nido and his dry eye and he can't see. No, thank you. And then Narvaez, I never wanted him in the first place. Since he's so good and has so much value, why not trade him and get some pitching? How about that? You replace Carrasco and you replace David Peterson. How about get some pitching? You could use catching help. He's such a top priority. That's why you have to sign the guy. Why not trade him? Because if Alvarez should be here, and again, like, it would be such a bad decision, not only for the on the field, like Alvarez is doing really good. You see the team winning now. He's hitting home runs. But also the psyche of the young guy, the mental makeup. If you're sending him down, what a confidence. You really hurt his confidence right there if you do something like that. So I think that would just be the total wrong decision, whether it's in favor of Narvaez or Nido. If you want to send down Gary Sanchez in favor of Narvaez, that's fine. But I think that even when Narvaez comes back, Alvarez should still be the full-time catcher because, again, he needs these reps to really show what he's capable of. So I think that should be the route. I think that Alvarez, if he just continues to do what he's doing, he will make it an easy decision for them where they just have to keep it the way it is. And I'm looking forward to see what Gary Sanchez could do because, again, we've had just so many years, and I'm so tired of seeing catchers who just cannot hit to save their lives. Having two that can hit home runs, that would be a really nice welcome change to see. So I'm looking forward to it. And again, I'm good with what we have right now. I didn't like what we had before. I complained about it for months, but I like what I'm seeing right now because this is what I want.
I think we're definitely going to see that Frank rank because of the numbers. I do think Tomas Nido does get DFA. I think that definitely does happen. Of all the people they decide to choose to buy out their arbitration years, Tomas Nido should not have been that guy, but they did. because they are more willing to eat $1.5 million or whatever the hell Tomas Nido, $1 million and change that he makes, than Omar Narvaez, making 9.5, whatever the hell, 8, whatever the hell his contract is, something like that, high 7, whatever. But I do think Nido does get DFA. Narvaez becomes the backup. Gary Sanchez is a flyer until those guys, one of them are ready, the 2-week stretch, to see if he has anything. If not, they'll DFA him too. That's what I do think they should DFA Nido. Will they? If Alvarez needs to continue to hit like that, and like you said, Frank, make it impossible to send him down. If he's hitting, and now you're seeing the Tomas Nido with Travis d'Arnaud, pitchers want to throw to Alvarez. You want to start a mutiny in your pitching rotation of now that they want to throw to the kid that was supposed to be, a walrus behind the plate. Now he's one of the best defensive catchers in the game. And at 21 years old, God knows what he's going to be when he's like 26. Hell, he might be the next coming of JT Realmuto and Johnny Bench combined. There is a world that they're going to say, you know what? We like Tomas. We bought out Tomas Nido's arbitration. We gave a 2-year deal. Why lose a guy when you can have the depth? And especially the catching position. Like we said, we've already been through 5. You don't think in the dog days of summer this isn't going to happen again? Even if we get all healthy, everybody gets back healthy. You don't think, Nido's Helen Keller disease popped up again. He got hit a foul ball off the mask, and boom, there you go.
Oh
It's been a while. I haven't said anything stupid in a while. Okay.
She's dead. She ain't coming for us. Don't worry.
She ain't dead. She's not going to cancel.
There's no way I'm cutting that out.
I have said it, and I'll continue to say it. Once you called up Alvarez, there's no turning back. You start his clock, there's no turning back unless he turned into Joey Bart, which we haven't seen. You've seen the opposite. Great defensively, and you're hitting the power. But I could totally see, especially if this was a position like second base, I think there's definitely, you keep the kid. The tax of a catcher, I think they want to keep as many possible catchers on the 40-man that they possibly can. It would not surprise me if all of them are healthy. Alvarez is playing every day again, back with Ronnie in Syracuse. Because again, with the catching position, one foul ball to the head, one foul ball off a hand. Oh, get Alvarez back up here. It's too taxing. And then, should it be? No. He should be the catcher every day, and we're not having this conversation. Narvaez is the backup, cool. We'll see if we get anything out of Gary Sanchez and maybe taking the DH spot. But again, Gary Sanchez would take away ABs and Mark Vientos. So again, I don't see Gary Sanchez as a long-term option. Again, it's 2 weeks. We'll see what he can do for 2 weeks. He's going to play tomorrow at some point, one of the games. We'll see what he does, see if he catches fire. But I just think they're going to keep the numbers game. And as stupid as it sounds, at that position, you want to keep as many as you possibly can. Again, we've been through 5 in a month and a half. Who knows? Again, we're going to get hot, concussions. And again, we have 2 blind catchers. So who knows? They could turn into Richie from Benchwarmers. They take a fastball right to the mask and boom, concussed. So they want to keep as many guys possible as they can. Is it the right decision? No, because Alvarez should be the everyday catcher and there's no discussion.
I think I'm pretty much at the same position as you guys with Francisco Alvarez, but I'm at this point where, for how well he's been hitting recently, as to compare to how well our typical catchers usually hit, I fucking dare you to send him down. I dare you. I dare you to send him down. Go ahead and do it. You're going to get so much backlash. Go ahead, do it. And he's not even considered a prospect anymore. So you're just bullying a kid. He's not even a prospect. You're just bullying a kid. Child abuse. Ridiculous. As for the timeline with Omar Narvaez and Tomas Nido, it looks like Nido's going to probably be healthy before Narvaez, but I'm waiting for Narvaez to come back because it looks like he has a roster spot locked in. It obviously with that contract, he's going to be there. When Narvaez comes back, I think that there should be a decision made in this whole situation with Gary Sanchez. If Gary Sanchez, in the 2 weeks that he's hitting for power, he's doing his great little thing.
If he's scary Gary.
He's scary Gary. I don't think he goes down. I think Mr. Fat Man, Danny frickin' Burgers, I think that's the man that goes. And you have Gary coming off the bench, and you have 3 catchers there But it's a lefty killer off the bench. It's your Darren Ruff. I don't think that really interferes with the whole situation with Vientos, but then I also have a fantasy where Vientos is at third and then Beatty's in left and then Marcana. But whatever. Either way that you look at it, you still have to be a wait and see. I think that Francisco Alvarez has to keep hitting. You're going to see what you get with Gary Sanchez. Who knows? I know Omar Narvaez is going to come back, right? He's going to be back on the roster. I don't think it's going to be for Alvarez. It'll probably be for Gary Sanchez in that sense. As for Tomas Nido, you're chilling in AAA and catching those young pitchers in AAA. Yeah, there's no real reason for Tomas Nido, but they like him too.
Especially if his defense fell off so much. I don't know if that had to do with the eye situation or not, but if his defense is not going to be good, we know his offense won't be. So he basically just becomes kind of...
Or maybe we just have a bench full of catchers,
We did it before.
At this point, we did do it before. When this time does come that one of those guys are healthy, that is rehabbing, we're definitely going to see one of those times where a possibility where they can cut out more useless fat, or they can possibly put in more useless fat. It's going to be a make or break situation. And it's either people are going to be angered about it or they're going to be happy about it.